My ass is on fire. My ass is on fire.
Okay. Welcome to episode 2 of my happy, super sexy, fun time superfan show. Let's see. So we decided to keep Jimmy Garoppolo around. Restructured his contract, so at least we're paying him less. But he is still the highest paid backup quarterback in the NFL. I have mixed feelings about this. On one hand, I'm happy because if Trey Lance gets hurt or something, it's good to know we can have a backup quarterback that can go in there and still win games for us. Now, I still think, I noticed that the Vikings got rid of Kellen Mond. I think it would have been a better idea to just cut Jimmy, move on, go get Kellen Mond as a backup, because how awesome would that be? I know he's not the greatest quarterback in the world. He couldn't quite cut it as a backup on the Vikings. But I think he would have made a solid backup, especially because if Trey Lance got hurt, we wouldn't really have to change the playbook much. Where with Jimmy, on the other hand, if he goes in there, we're going to have to resort back to the old playbook that we were using all the years with Jimmy. I don't think Jimmy running the triple option would work out. But anyway, enough about football. I'm drinking root beer with Ron Zacapa rum in it. If you never had it before, I recommend you try some. It's really good. I've been reading a lot of the comments in my last video, and a lot of people, I guess, wanted to get to know me better, so I guess I'll just tell you a little backstory about myself. I live in Norwalk, Connecticut. You might ask, how is a 49ers fan in Norwalk, Connecticut? Well, there's lots of us here, believe it or not. There's also a lot of Cowboys fans, a lot of Eagles fans. But yeah, of course, mostly it's Giants, Jets, Patriots, and even some Bills fans pop up every now and again. And of course, they've been popping up more recently than they have been in the past. But I'm a simple man. I love football. I love horror movies. Can't wait till October. We're only a month away. That's why I busted out my Jason Voorhees goblet over here. It's plastic, but it works. Does the trick. I made this bar by myself. Actually, no, that's not true. I actually made it with my cousin. Originally it was his, but when he moved out, I took it all apart, brought it to my place, and put it up in here. And kind of turned it into a 49ers bar, as you could see in the opening of the videos. My show I draw everything myself, all the players. Every year I change them. Jimmy was in there, but I took him out because I thought he was gone. But even if I would have known he was staying as a backup, I would have took him out of there anyway. Because like I said, when it comes to quarterbacks, with me anyway, I like to think of quarterbacks as like, well, it's right up there with the President of the United States of America. You know, you got to get behind him and root for him no matter who it is. Like I said, Tim Rattay, I was rooting for him. Alex Smith, I was rooting for him. Troy Smith, I was rooting for him. Druckenmiller, O'Sullivan, Garcia, Gerback, Bono, you name it. Whoever's in there, that's our guy. That's who I... Rah, rah, rah. Go you. Go, go, go. All I care about is that we win. And I'm always very supportive of our quarterback, regardless of who's in there. And like I said, all these years, I've always been behind Jimmy. When I found out that we were moving on from him, I didn't blame Shanahan, but it was just like one of those things where it was like, oh, I just feel... First off, I will go to my grave believing that we would have won that Super Bowl against the Chiefs if we would have just ran the ball. And everybody's like, yeah, but our running game wasn't working in the fourth quarter. We couldn't even run the ball against them anymore. I don't care if we would have ran the ball and got -3 yards on every fucking carry. It would have killed the clock. We were up by 10. We had possession of the ball, and there was 8 minutes left in the game. Do the math. 40 seconds times 3. We would have killed at least a minute and a half, 2, maybe even 3 minutes. Depends on how many first downs we would have gotten. If we would have just ran the ball in every play, like we did when we played the Vikings in the playoffs in 2019, we totally could have won that game. We could have wore down the clock. Okay, maybe the Chiefs would have got the ball back one more time. But, and even if they would have scored, they still would have had to do an onside kick, get the ball, and score again. And it wouldn't have happened. We would have won that Super Bowl. So I blame Shanahan. A lot of people say it was Jimmy's fault because he threw it too long with the jeez. I don't even remember the wide receiver anymore. I'm drunk. How am I supposed to know? But anyway, when he overthrew what's-his-face, you know, if only he would have threw it better, that would have been caught and it would have been a touchdown and we definitely would have won. Yeah, but Shanahan knows what Jimmy can do and can't do. He knows he can't make throws like that, so why would you make him do it in the biggest game, everything on the line? Like, just run the ball 8 times in a row, and we would have won. And I'll go to my grave believing that. No one can convince me otherwise. And as for the Rams game last year in the NFC Championship, yeah, that was brutal. I really don't have anybody to blame for that game. Not even Jimmy for that interception at the end, because if he would have just threw the ball away or took a sack or whatever, then it would have been 4th and 13 or 4th and 18, something crazy like that. We wouldn't have got it anyway. We have to just say the Rams put up a good fight in that game, and they finally, well-deserved, got the win over us after we beat them 6 times in a row. They were due. They literally bought their championship. They went out and spent money. They got a new quarterback. They got receiver. They brought in defensive guys. They bought that Super Bowl. But you know what? I'm not going to hold that against them. They did it. They did it. We didn't. You know what I mean? We decided to keep the same quarterback. We decided to keep the same cornerbacks. We decided to keep the same safeties. And that's what we got in return. So, We could have went out and got Beckham Jr. We could have went out and got Matthew Stafford. We could have went out and got Von Miller, but we didn't. So we could have went out and got the Honey Badger, but we didn't. So if we would have, guess what? We would have won the Super Bowl last year. So, I mean, I was literally screaming in that fourth quarter. I was literally screaming at the TV, just put Trey Lance in. And I was supporting, like I said, Jimmy throughout the whole thing. But when it came down to that, I was just like, okay, just put in Trey Lance already. Because I wanted to see what he could do. Maybe he'd scramble away and run for a 70-yard touchdown like Kaepernick did that time against the Packers. No one will ever know, because it never happened. So, regardless, it is what it is. But yeah, we're keeping Jimmy around. The only problem I have with that is I think it's a bad idea because he's just going to be a distraction all season long for Trey Lance. He's going to be breathing down Trey Lance's shoulder. Or neck. Whatever expression you want to use. I don't know, I'm drunk. And I'm sexy. Sexy. This is my sexy show. Anyway. Because sex sells. But anyway. Anytime Trey Lance throws an interception, you know damn well what we're going to see. Cameras are going to be looking at Jimmy over there on the bench, or he's going to be standing there. That's right, being an ass kisser, teacher's pet to Shanahan. He's going to be standing there with the clipboard or the computer thingamajig, whatever the hell you call it, tablet, and they're just going to keep showing him. Anytime Trey Lance has a bad game, they're going to be showing him. Everybody's going to be saying, they should just put Jimmy back in. Trey Lance isn't ready yet. Put Jimmy back in. Let him have one more shot at it. We're just going to see the same thing. I know this. I know. But who knows? Maybe Trey will get hurt. Jimmy will go in. And then he'll get hurt too. And then we'll have Brock Purdy go in there and fucking be the hero and take us to the Super Bowl. Maybe Brock Purdy could be our Nick Foles. But anyway. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that. Ron Zacapa, or Zacapa, however you want to pronounce it. Guatemalan rum. I'm usually not a rum fan, but a friend turned me on to this years ago, and it completely changed my mind about rum. I was like, oh my god. Apparently rum's not as bad as I thought it was. It's so smooth. You can take shots of it, and you don't even have to chase it with anything. Me actually mixing it with root beer, by the way, actually made it worse. Because now it just tastes like... I mean, I don't even taste the liquor, but it just tastes like a watery root beer now to me. And plus it's diet root beer on top of that, which makes it even worse. If it was regular root beer, I'm sure it would be fine. But this stuff is dangerous, putting it in soda like this, because 2 or 3 drinks becomes 10 drinks really quick. But... good thing this is actually an old bottle, and I have like a quarter of a bottle left, so I don't have a choice but to not go overboard today. But October's coming, only 1 month away, best time of the year. That's when football gets really good. That's when the leaves are off the trees. That's when horror movies galore. I'm going to be watching them every day. I got a whole stack of DVDs that I have waiting to be watched. And we'll get to that bridge when we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Can't wait till October comes when I can have October edition of my show, where I will talk about horror movies and football at the same time. Be there, or be square, or be sexy. Oh, sexy. What's with the sexy? I don't know. That's my new thing now, I guess.